All right, it's time that we have a little real talk about AI. One of the things that makes AI so overwhelming, at least for me, is that it seems like overnight there were like a zillion different tools that popped up and they all kind of claim to do a different thing. And it's like, where do you even start? How do you know what is actually going to be helping you and not just creating more work? So, what I've learned is, particularly, I'm talking to my social media managers and my content creators out there, if you're looking to adopt I recommend choosing 1 to 2 core tasks to start with, at least, that you feel like you need help with. Actually, this is something I was just on a coaching call recently, and I was saying if you're overwhelmed with your workload, break your workload up into 3 different columns. The things that you absolutely need to do, the things that you have to show up for. For example, for me, that's filming these videos, right? I'm not going to outsource this to anybody else. I'm not going to use an AI clone of myself. I have to do the video filming. Next, you're going to make a list of things that maybe can be taken off your plate and then break that up between things that you need to outsource for. So, things that maybe you need to hire a team member to help you with, and the things that potentially have a use case to be automated in some way. So, according to a recent study from Metricool, the most common tasks marketers are choosing to use AI for today are content idea generation, writing text like post copy, captions, etc., and adapting copy to different tones and social media channels. They have a whole AI report, by the way, and you guys know Metricool is a partner for me and this channel. You can always sign up using my code Latasha at the link down below. I'll leave that AI report for you specifically too. It was really interesting. But today I want to walk you through a few of my favorite AI powered features in Metricool. And in case you don't know what Metricool is, it is an all in one system for social media managers, for content creators to plan your content, to schedule your content, to analyze your content. You can even run ads with it. And yes, there are also a ton of AI powered tools in there as well. So it really is like an all in one. So again, Latasha, link down below, but let's get into the features. The first of which is actually really freaking cool. I've got to be honest. So they announced this integration with an AI tool, Claude, and basically you just connect Metricool with it and you're able to ask it any type of questions that you might ask a social media strategist. So you could almost like pretend like I was sitting across from you, right? Or somebody who is like, who you'd pay as a consultant or strategist and say things like, can you come up with 10 real ideas, Instagram real ideas, based on my top performing posts for the last month. And if your Metricool is connected to Claude and Claude is connected to Metricool and they're talking to each other, it'll analyze the data that's in your Metricool account and it will give you real ideas just like an AI tool would, but it's customized to you. Sometimes like that's some of my skepticism, I guess, with some of the AI tools is I feel like they give you like really general advice. They're like, post 3 times a week, blah, blah, blah. But it's like not based on your specific data. This actually is because we all know that everybody's individual accounts, everybody's audiences, all the things are different, right? So we can look at benchmarks, we can look at averages, but I want to know what works for me and my channel specifically. And that is exactly what this can do. Some other use cases, for example, you could say, like, show me my top 10 posts of the year, tell me what they have in common, and give me 5 new content ideas based on those patterns. You can brainstorm post ideas using real trends. You can draft and adapt captions for every channel. You can research what's working for you right now. And so much more. Something else you can do is competitor research. Metricool has that competitor research tab, which is so awesome. I love just looking at it organically, not AI-ly, whatever, not automated, whatever. But with this integration, you can ask them. You can say like, "Hey, I don't feel like scanning through, my reports right now, or I don't feel like digging through their individual accounts. Tell me what my competitors are posting last week, and then come up with some content ideas for me in my channel specifically." So this is really awesome. It does take a little bit to get it set up. Metricool has an amazing support team and they have some great trainings over on their channel. So I'll make sure to leave resources of how to get set up with all of that, but it does some really powerful stuff. Okay, number 2, the second feature within Metricool is the AI social post generator. So this is within their planner feature. And the planner feature is basically the scheduler. Like that is, in layman's terms, that's what it is. So if you're a social media manager, you might have a client who maybe they work with a photographer. And so they send you a batch of like 20 images, which is amazing if you're in that position where your client is sending you content. Love that for you. But now the challenge is you have to do all of the captions in every single social media platform from Instagram, even to TikTok, to LinkedIn, to X. It works best when you do image or video and text, right? Like you don't want to just use no caption. Copywriting is super important at giving people an additional way to take in the message, sometimes for SEO value, right? There's like a lot of different reasons why having good copy is a good idea. But if you're not a strong writer, or if you just are lost, at a loss for ideas. I know sometimes after my 20th post, like if it's a coffee, like a cafe, I'm like, how many times can I write about a black coffee? Like my brain is just stumped. Well, this is a great thing to use when you're in those kind of funks. So you can choose from 13 different tones, everything from informative, funny, descriptive, I think playful might be one of them. All of these different tones, right? And it's so important to know as a social media manager, what tone am I using for my client? Are they a financial services company? Well, then we should be talking very professional, very informative. Are they a lip gloss company that's targeting Gen Z? Well, maybe we can be more funny and playful, right? So, yeah, you can give like a brief example. Hey, we want to promote our new coffee flavors for fall. Here are the, names of the drinks, and then tell it what tone you want to use, and they will spit out copy for you. And of course, what's even the best part about this, because I truly believe with any of these tools, like the magic is in the customization, right? Like you don't want to just necessarily click, yep, use that, use that, use that, and just like completely let it do its thing without any human input. Look it over and tweak it, like you can put it into that post and just edit however you like. So, and really make it your own. So, love that feature. So, we know that not only does every brand have its own specific tone and voice, but you might actually use a different tone, voice, or style for different social platforms as well. So, for example, for me, I like to use Threads. I like to use Instagram. I use YouTube. I already said Instagram. I use LinkedIn. All four of those have a little bit of a different style for me. Threads is my least hinged. It is my most unhinged, right? It is like completely casual. I am speaking in slang. I am making funny jokes, or at least funny to me. Whereas LinkedIn, I typically am writing pretty polished and professional. The goal of LinkedIn is for me to connect with other businesses and get more clients, maintain relationships, that kind of thing. Whereas Threads is just kind of like funny, silly for me. And that tends to be the case for most companies, right? Even if businesses are using Threads a little bit more seriously than I am, they're still adhering to kind of the culture of the platform, which is more laid back, which is more informal. And so, I'm saying this to say you can go into your brand settings in Metricool. This is the third feature I wanted to share with you. You can go into your brand settings, click on AI configuration, and you can actually customize the tone for all of your different platforms. So you can set up if you want it to be clear, concise, informal, formal, funny, silly, use slang, use emoji, friendly, conversational, like whatever. This is basically your AI prompts like dashboard here. So decide how you want your copy to show up, and then when you go through to create some of those things, it's going to be automatically set for each platform. So then, you can, of course, still customize it in the planner once it spits it out for you, but you're going to be starting from mm, a much more specific place, right? A much less general place. Again, this is what I sometimes hate about AI is I'm like, okay, yes, you wrote a caption, but like the caption sounds like every other brand in the world. This is how you are able to avoid that, and prevent that and get ahead of that. So it's going to make your editing process and publishing process so much easier. Oh, and users can now also rate the AI assistant output, which I think, again, is amazing. I am all about making this as good as it can be and as truly helpful. Like, you don't want it to be more work. You don't want it to give you something that you're just going to have to do more editing and more revisions on. So make sure to leave ratings and let them actually know how it's doing so it can get smarter and make things even more seamless for you. I love Metricool as a company just because they are very, very responsive to users' needs and wants and desires, and also what's going on in the industry. And so, yeah, I think the rating feature is awesome. So, those are 3 things that you probably didn't know about yet in Metricool. I mean, I didn't until recently, and I just think it's always so fun how many new features they're coming up with. And I think this is a good place to start. Like I said, if you're feeling overwhelmed, like I sometimes get with all the new, AI stuff out there, just use the tools that you're already using, dig into those and see what AI features the tools you already use and love have within them and how you can start to use them to benefit you. So, thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this. I'll leave some resources down below. And again, thanks to Metricool for being the best partner. You can always use my code LaTasha at the link down below to sign up for 30 days free on any of Metricool's premium plans. And I will also leave that AI study for you down below so you can check that out if you want to learn more about what's going on in the world of AI. So thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.